Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, Texas Man back here, and today, ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking about the finale to Ncuti Gatwa's era as the Doctor. Doctor Who, the Reality War episode review is here, ladies and gentlemen. Where do I start? It's over. Yay! Oh my gosh, I've never been so excited for a show to be over. And for an actor to leave. It's just... Oh, I grew up at a time in my childhood when a show ended, it felt like a tragedy because we always wanted the story to continue. Now we live in an era where, we get so much garbage that we just can't wait for it to end. Isn't that weird how things have changed in the last, 10 years? 10 years, maybe 15 years now. It's really weird how the pendulum has swung. It's weird how the pendulum... there we go. It's weird how the pendulum has swung. First off, I want to talk about the fact that this episode is really long. It's almost like a movie. This episode is an hour and 8 minutes long. And what's surprising is nothing of any consequence happens. You would think with the title, The Reality War, there would be a war. No, the biggest war scene, which is just like a little battle scene, is Unit Headquarters Tower becomes this 180 energy turret station against skeletons. It's so dumb. It is mind-bogglingly stupid. Oh my goodness. I want to state the fact this is probably going to be the last Doctor Who video I make in years because I have no desire to watch Doctor 16 whenever that drops. They haven't even started production on the next season or a special. So, like I said in a previous video, the show has been canceled. It's been put on a hiatus. They're putting it to rest. Disney hasn't even reviewed a season 3. And apparently this is one of the reasons why Ncuti Gatwa left the show is because Disney, with BBC, because of the poor ratings of season 1, they did not greenlight a season 3. So they only greenlit 2 seasons. And because of the poor ratings, because of, honestly, just bad writing and acting, in my opinion, Disney was actually wise and didn't greenlight a season 3. So who knows when Doctor 16 is going to start up? Nobody knows. It's going to be a while because they don't have a script written. They don't have anything in production. So it's going to be at least 2 to 3 years minimum. Get some fresh blood into there, please. This episode ends with the introduction of the 16th Doctor, which screams desperation because it's Billie Piper, who was the companion of Doctor 9 and 10. And I'm just like... Yeah, it's funny how people are like, oh, it's a 20th anniversary celebration. And I'm just like... Billie Piper cannot be the Doctor. That just screams desperation. It's gonna cause people to have problems writing this new Doctor. It's gonna cause so many different situational problems. Moving on. Nothing for the past 2 seasons really matters. Everything is basically resolved. All the people either get eaten or they just get their memory wiped. So bad guys either are just annihilated into oblivion and are killed, or they just have their memory erased and they just go on with their lives, which I think is kind of horrible. I think they should be at least arrested, put in prison for their crimes, but what do I know? We do get some cameos from past iterations of the Doctor, like Dr. 11, aka Matt Smith. We also get the appearance of the 13th Doctor, played by Jodie Whittaker. And, God, her being in this episode was truly garbage. I mean, she basically tells Shutigatwa's doctor that he's beautiful, and then later on in the episode, he tells Jodie Whittaker's doctor that, I love you. Really? So not only does the doctor have the ability to be gay, have a kid with his companion, I'll get to that later, and also is in love with himself. I'm just like, it's sickening. It just is. The villain, I actually kind of wanted to win, the Rani, because her whole goal is to use Omega to bring back Gallifrey and to also resurrect all the Time Lords. The only thing preventing it is the sacrifice, removal from existence of this wish created, this fake child that never existed until this reality war began, until this wish world began and came into existence. So the child's not even real. Never was. Never should have been. And yeah. And what's weird is, like, Time Lords can't have children. So, you know, they make the big stink out that the doctor and the nurse, oh, I have a baby, I need to protect my baby, gotta protect. The doctor can't have a baby! And I'm sorry, and I know this probably going to sound heartless, but this child never existed until the villain created the Wish World. So when the doctor destroys the Wish World, the child's going to get killed. Obviously, they have to find a loophole around this to keep the kid alive, and it's still out there with the nurse, aka its mom, I think. Whatever. But I'm just like, really? Sacrifice the fake child that never actually existed and is really technically not in existence. Bring back Gallifrey. Bring back the Time Lords. And, you know, teach them to not be murderous tyrants and be peaceful, loving space exploration people. Just like the Doctor. But no, we can't have that. We gotta save the one kid instead of resurrecting an entire civilization. I'm sorry, but that's just dumb. Both Ruby Rhodes and the nurse's stories do come to a conclusion, so I'm guessing that whenever we get more Doctor Who, they probably won't show up, and if they do, they'll be guest appearances. But their stories have been wrapped up with this episode, and I'm happy to report that. And I'm just like, oh gosh, I don't want to talk about Ncuti era of Doctor Who ever again. And I sure hope that he never shows up as a guest appearance, because it'll be like, oh God. It'll just be a reminder of a worse time in Doctor Who lore and franchise history. Honestly, Doctor Who with the Ncuti era is worse than Jodie Whittaker. I've seen some of those episodes of Jodie Whittaker's era, and while they are garbage, they're not as bad as Ncuti stuff. So, that's going to do it for this episode review. This will be my last Doctor Who video for a while. So, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. If you guys have missed out on anything Doctor Who related, I do have a playlist that should be popping up at any moment. And I'm going to give the episode a 1 out of 10. Have a good day, guys. Peace out.